He's got to be cryogenically frozen until they find a cure.
Vince, he has a bullet in the brain.
Well, get more ice!
This was a suggestion from YouTube user LatexStolt, and I apologise if I've utterly mangled that pronunciation. Anyway, it was a suggestion that came up during a very entertaining discussion that concerned Discworld. Johannes Cabal sold his soul, and now he wants it back. Isn't it a good thing that the devil enjoys handing out wages? Third person throughout, with many chapters being ended with fake yet humorous reports. It all flows pretty damn well in my opinion, and even when it goes off on somewhat lengthy segues, it never fails to be interesting and fun to read. Johannes Cabal is a bastard, or rather he's a relatively good person trapped in the body of a bastard. He is disdainful of almost everyone he meets, he has next to no people skills, and he believes that the ends always justify the means. He is also a hell of a lot of fun to be around. I mean, to call this an out-and-out comedy would do a great disservice to the novel. I mean, it is true that there are some unbelievably hilarious moments in this book. One moment had me damn near pissing myself with laughter. Now, normally that wouldn't be a bad thing, except that I was on a fairly packed bus at the time. Oh, the looks I got. But in amongst the fair number of laughs, the story does take some nicely dark turns. Now, given some of what came before, it'd be very easy for such moments to be mood-breaking, but they most certainly are not. The gags and the drama all flow together wonderfully, making it a smooth read. In many ways, this helps to accentuate it all. Nothing is telegraphed any further in advance than it needs to be, so when the gag or the turn appears, it has far more punch. Character-wise, Johannes, as I said earlier, is a bit of a bastard, but his sarcastic nature is right up my street. And unfortunately, I can't really talk too much about the rest, as that would get unfortunately spoilerific. Suffice to say that although most of them have very little page time, they are all nevertheless well written and quite nicely defined. What I will say, however, is that there is a vampire in this novel that not only gets some damn good lines, but mercifully doesn't sparkle or any related bullshit like that. The negatives are few and far between. As I said, a fair few characters don't get a large amount of time, which is a pity, because some of them I would have liked to have seen more done with. Additionally, I would have also liked a bit more info on the world in which Johannes inhabits. I mean, on the one hand, there are more than a few hints that people know what's going on, so they know about necromancers and dark magic and all that jazz, but there are also equally as many hints that people are clueless. But having said all that, anything else I might try and pick up on now would just be nitpicking. This is an often funny, sometimes dark, but always interesting novel with an ending that hints interestingly at things to come.